you could assume that this is going to be applicable for any IT initiative, right? Any IT initiative, any people initiative you take within the organization, the same thing is going to be applicable. Okay. So just to say, what is an ERP system? There's a software that interconnects all business functions in such a manner that there is no duplicacy of data. This will help to deliver the single truth of data at any point, anywhere, right? So the single point of truth is very important about data, because that is where your decision making becomes, a lot more proper within the organization. And this is the only way the organization can improve the decision making capability, meet the customer commitment and control cost, and most importantly, with the no day-to-day firefighting, right? So this is what, majority of the industry, they spend a lot of time, their energy is being sucked out only on the day-to-day firefighting. And let's see what makes actually a ERP system implementation complex. Okay, if you actually look at ERP system, this is going to involve most of the almost all the white collared folks within the company, and some of the blue collared folks also. Let us say some production area implementation, and probably in the quality control, some test data need to be captured. There are some blue collared people are also involved. So which means when there is more and more people are involved into any activity, that actually gets complex, right? So this is fundamentally a difference between, okay, I put a CRM system, it works fine. I have got a tally, it is working fine. So these are all island of applications which has been essentially operated by a specific set of people in the company. Those things will work fine, right? When you bring all the people together, then the problem starts, right? Integrating the inter-departmental function process with zero redundancy and all statutory requirements covered. Okay, when I say all statutory requirements, the system also has to constantly evolve for your requirement. That's also equally important. This gets a lot more complex when the right system is not selected. When there's a cost and time overrun, people get exhausted and either choose to abandon the system or settle down to use limited feature of the ERP system. This, I think most of you could see in and around. Probably it could be your own experience, or it could be the experience of the people in your industry, folks. You can see this very invariably. Why this has been happening? This happens because the right system is not selected, right? So the right system selection is predominantly important, because if it is not selected, there's a cost and time runs, and people definitely will get disconnected from the system. And this is what finally happens there and that. So a successful ERP implementation has to take 10 aspects into serious consideration. Only then the project can go through smoothly. So I am just going to list down some 10 parameters in my next slide. So that is what I'm going to explain for the rest of the presentation. Probably some of you find, something you need to talk or, pause in between and ask a question. You can feel free to do that, right? Or some of you want to make a note of it, ask by end of the session. That's also fine with me. So let's see what is that, list of secret sauce. I call it as a secret sauce. The point number 1 is industry ready system. Okay, which I put one slide earlier itself. And second thing is water flow configuration and implementation method. Okay, so the second one we'll discuss in all these points we'll discuss in detail. And the third one, ERP deployment models. And the fourth one is project management. And the fifth important parameter is master data and the opening balances, as well as open entries. All these things are covered in this point number 5. And the sixth one is end user training and user acceptance, most important. And the 7 is go live. And the 8th one is MIS and decision support system. And the ninth one is master data management. Okay, it is slightly different from point number 5 to point number 9. We will discuss when we go there in that point. And then ongoing support and enhancement. Okay, these are all the 10 points. Any of the IT system that you implement need to take care of all these things, so that the system would continue to give benefit for your organization. Otherwise, it will become sidelined. It is like a gift article which we bought, and then it is sitting in some side of the showcase. It will become like that. So it should not become a showcase piece. So if any IT system investment has to continue to give benefit, the 10 points are really important. The first one is the most important stuff. So we all have to realize the fact there is nothing called as a global food. Okay, There is nothing called as a global language. Okay. And not even global phone. Okay. Recently, some of my relatives, these guys have come from US. The first time when they came to India, they got so excited about the UPI payment and all that. And they have some, Indian accounts also, NRO accounts they are maintaining. These guys wanted to, map their phone for, Google Pay, right? So when they downloaded Google Pay, the Google Pay app is not opening in their phone in India. The reason it is opening something called as a Google Wallet. I was curious why the Google Pay is not showing in the Play stores. Then we came to know the phone, if it is not made in India, the Google Pay doesn't work. Okay. Now forget about giving your India number. If it is an India number, if it is not an India phone, it doesn't work. So first of all, the phone needs customization. Okay. So we have to really understand what are all the product that is coming as a customer. Just imagine that there's a Western food. Okay. We have got a burger, we have got a pizza, we have got a pasta, all that stuff here. Okay. Left side is what is our food spread. Now tell me, can you really convert the pizza pasta into our, sambar, vada, rasam? Can you convert? You can't convert this, right? That food is different. That people who are liking the food, let them like it. It is fine for them, right? So here sometimes, people will say that, we are discriminating. There is no discrimination here. We are only trying to understand certain things doesn't work. Otherwise, there is no word called birds of same feather flock together. Okay, is a birds are discriminatory? Obviously not. There are certain birds which they fly in certain altitude. There are certain birds they fly in certain speed, and they also cover certain distances. Only those birds will actually be flocking together. So when you are actually choosing a system, if the system is not designed for your industry, your domain, your region, your local stuff, you invariably spend hell a lot of time and effort, and that's where the whole system go bust, right? So if the system is not ready, I would cover in the subsequent slide. The system is not ready on day one. I won't say even day one, day zero, it should be ready. So let's say somebody come and ask, okay, so fine, how to make avial? Okay, I don't know, but many of you can relate. How to make avial? If the chef is coming and asking, tell me as a person who have come to eat, from where will you start? Can anybody in the room can define how the avial is made? Can you tell a chef what is required? No, we only know how to order and how to eat. Only these two things we know, right? We can't even order. We cannot tell how the avial is made, right? So all I am saying is don't waste your time by giving system requirement to the end customer. It doesn't work. The system, the software vendor has to say, boss, don't tell me the system requirement. We know everything what you want. It is ready with me. Then there is a possibility the software can get implemented to 70% when the system is 100% ready. If the system is not 100% ready, you reduce the possibility, or you increase the risk to the extent of 70%, which means the possibility of the software getting implemented is only 30% for you on the system readiness. Okay. This is very important slide, and this is something very important about the system readiness for you. And people would say the software is working globally. It has been working in 170 countries. All these are all is not going to help. Is it made ready for my country, my region, my domain, my tax laws? Is it ready on the day zero? It works. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And this simply means 95% of the core business and the statutory requirements has to be met on the software without any need for customization, so that the system for all business use case needs can be validated in 2 weeks of time. This is something, the second step is very important. How do you actually validate a system? The validating a system, which means the software has to be given to all the users. They have to be ready with all the requirements. They run through all the requirements in the system, take some test data, and by end of 2 weeks, all the department says, boss, whatever I want, it is available in the system. Then it actually, if it is not met, the subsequent presentation is of no use, right? So this is most important. If this stage the software is not passing, within 2 weeks the software is not validated, probably the rest of the presentation may not actually work for anybody. And the second one, the most important thing is the water flow configuration and implementation method. Now assume that we have selected a software, a system which has been working for your industry. Everything is covered. Users have evaluated. After a demo, generally you take a demo and go for a 2 weeks of evaluation that has already put a tick mark. Then the second one is water flow configuration and implementation method. This requires a clear understanding of the business requirement of the end user and organization. The system has to be configured. When I use the word configuration, this is not customization. So, which means you are just enabling, disabling certain field to get the business functionality into the software, right? So this process has to minimize or avoid back and forth discussion at each stage of the process or an activity. This is where much friction starts if it is not done correctly. Okay, let us say we have got a TCS, we have got a TDS, these are all the functionality, stock account, consumption account, all these things are to be configured in the system correctly so that the system is actually ready to use for the industry. Who are all required for this? This particular process of, the system validation, the users, HOD, system administrator, project manager, and we have got a configuration. And as part of configuration, all the business rules has to be created, like GST, TDS, and all that. User roles and rights has to be created, right? So who should use what scope of the work, what reports people can access, and who's going to be the creator, who's going to be the approver. All these things has to be done. And another important next step is we also have to do the setup of all documents and terms and conditions. Let's say there is a sale order, there's a purchase order, there is a returnable delivery challan, or there are certain rules. Okay, material has to be returned, or the payment delay, there is going to be interest going to be charged. You got certain rules. So all these rules are to be defined, logos are to be set. So the system setup is fully ready for people to try of a real scenario at this point of time, right? So at the stage itself, system is ready for you to use. We are not going to go live, but the system is fully ready for you to go live. Almost like a live setup. This has to be ready for you. And another, important point here is, we are talking about cloud and on-premise models, right? So these are all the deployment models that we have, cloud or on-premise. So what is very important is server availability and security is very important. Server availability includes networking, desktop, printers, printer maintenance, and the security also involves, firewalls, your antivirus, all those things. And the ERP patches are also very important because regularly patches keeps coming, right? That's what somebody has asked. Do you have a fully tested system, right? There is nothing called, somebody said, there are bugs coming on the software, right? So that's what I used to say. If you're looking for a bug-free software, there's nothing called as a bug-free software, right? On the universe. So definitely there are softwares. Any software you talk about, it'll have bugs. So that's why if you look at any of the updates, open and see, they will say bug fixes, features. At least every update of even Zoom I have updated last week. They have found out about 20 bugs in Zoom. So probably we are not affected, but they are actually finding out, right? So the patches cannot be stopped. Patches will continue to come because any new feature will have a breakage somewhere, or there will be some security issue which will be there, or for a performance, they would be improving multiple things. So the patch update is very important. In case of an on-premise server, a dedicated qualified system administrator is compulsory. Okay. Now, when you ask me personally, today even for on-premise servers, it is not worthwhile to create a entire IT infrastructure within the organization, because the creation of IT infrastructure, it is not only money related, it is also again maintenance related. It is also again a line item for the top management to maintain those infrastructures. Then there is someone who is going to come and discuss. It is going to take your precious time of the management. It is not worth. Even if you want a dedicated server, you can go for your private, hybrid network. You can go for your own server in a data center, so the server is well protected for you. Many other vendors are now offering data center services. It will be a good idea to offer a cloud model for small industries, and even a large company, they can think of a cloud server so that you don't have failures. The availability and safety security is being taken care of well. Okay. Now the next one of our point is project manager. Just a second. Most of the small companies, the CEO is a person who is actually taking care of the ERP project management. Okay. And in my personal opinion, this has led to disaster in many of the cases I have seen. Okay. The reason is the top management, the CEO, he may not be able to devote full time because he has got multiple things to be taken care. Okay, he is giving attention to the project is different. Taking care of the entire project in his hand is very different. Okay, so it is something like, I want to give a small example, something like, small union territory like Pondicherry. This is a very small state. So you don't need police. CM himself will take care. Is it possible? No. There also you need police. And in a worse situation, you also need a, reserve force has to come when something goes wrong, right? All those things are required. So the CEO, it's not a good idea for the CEO to take care. You need to have a dedicated project manager for this project. So like what we say, East or West, India is the best, like that. It was smaller, big, project manager is a must actually. The PM will be the single point of contact of the client team. The ERP team also have a PM. This structure will work. Okay, you have a PM for the user side. You also have a project manager for the ERP side. Only these two people are talking to each other. Then the structure will go. Otherwise, there are a lot of loose communications which will be happening, which actually creates invariable confusion on the project. Somebody has given requirement. He says, I have already told. And somebody says, I have told this guy. So this all create confusion. Nobody should talk to each other excepting these two project manager. Rest of all the people have to only tell them. It has to be a single channel of communication. The client PM should be fully backed up by the top management. Okay, so this is where the CEO support becomes very important. He says whatever has been discussed and decided through the PM, and that has to be followed. That instruction has to go, right? So I would like to add one small point here. When the ERP projects are getting delayed, I have seen sometimes the top management, somewhere when you are having a cup of tea or coffee with the team members, they'll say, yeah, this project we are working for more than 6-7 months. I don't know whether when it is go live, I'm also losing interest on that. If this one statement they make, the project has gone, right? So at all the time, he has to keep iterating to the people that with the full energy, though you have doubt in your mind, you have to say this has to happen for us, right? So everyone should get that message. That one wrong message can become a disaster for the project. Now, suddenly I was thinking about the top management. I'm sharing this point. And the regular review is important. Once in a while, once shouting on the people never help. Right. This also I have seen, some of the projects, some CEO will, he will lose his school, come and shout at people, and they will say, if you're like this, I'm going to terminate you, all that, I want things to go live. That will not work. And you have to constantly follow people. And that's very important. In spite of small troubles and delay, everyone has to be very positive about the ERP project. Never say negative comments. That's what I told. This is like newly married couple will have small differences and find it doesn't mean they are going to go for a divorce. Okay. So people pulling down and causing deliberate delays should be asked to go, right? So that's what someone was asking for one of the seminar yesterday. Sir, how do you identify people who are not cooperating for the project? Okay, it's very easy to identify. These are all the people who will be asking for more and more requirement. They will give more and more reasons why the system cannot be taken live. So you can identify. So the people are not falling in line within 2-3 months. You have to put a spot on them and give them another 1 more month. And then still people are not falling in line for the ERP system. The only way is asking people to tell them thank you, and so that they will start looking for their better choice. And ERP is a must for the company. So this is very important that we have to see here. Another most important point is the master data management, right? So master data is one of the important foundation pieces of an ERP system. So the master data is not correct, the ERP foundation will shake. So sometimes there are companies I have seen, they have created duplicate items and all that. There is one item is having stock, and what they have defined in the BOM doesn't have stock. So they don't know. If you have got larger SKUs, larger number of items, you really don't know that whole data coming out of ERP could be wrong, right? So to create master data, you need to evolve a manual system. Okay. So manual system in the sense somebody has to enter data, it has to be validated, checked, verified. If it is not there, then someone has to go upload in the system. So masters and opening balance migration is important, and remove duplicates, make consolidation or bifurcations. Okay. Sometimes, there is one item which is having multiple items inside, just bifurcate it. Sometimes, the same item is repeated. So all these things you need to remove it. Creating critical dimensions like group classification, subgroups properly, very important. That's how you will be able to generate reports, for your MIS system. Opening balance of inventory of to tally with the financial figures. The inventory figures and financial figures have to tally. That's how the opening balance need to come for the system. So these are all the points very important for migrating for the system. The next one is the end user training and user acceptance test. This is the most important one because ERP seldom doesn't work because the top management wants. ERP only will work when users are going to own the system. Users will never own the system if the system is not fully ready for their business function. Assuming that we have given an ERP system and users also entering data, some of the functions not available, he is supposed to maintain an Excel sheet. These kind of systems you give it to the user, they always will be working with the resistance. They'll never give full support, right? When you give the system 100%, it has to meet all their business requirements. That's how the system has to be. This is what I mentioned. This is to transfer the baton of the ERP to ERP from the vendor to the end user. Okay, so this is the most important point. Start with prepare a list of use cases of all the business scenarios and attach the business functions and the users HODs for each of the use case. Okay, let's say for example, let us say the procurement function, right? So when it is starting from purchase intent, PO, GRN, and then quality control, and then financial posting of purchase voucher and payment voucher. When you say this is a scenario, bring all the people together, ask them to validate the entire business function, and the whole scenario has to be validated for the business requirement, statutory report, everything they have to validate. So each and every use case wise, prepare a use case document and then start validating it. Make sure use case training is done only when the users and HODs are present. If somebody is absent, please don't conduct that function because somebody might say, okay, this is finished and I am not aware of it, right? So make sure everybody is present. And every use case, minimum 10 to 15 entries are entered to validate the data. Validation of control reports, documents, statutory reports are to be cleared by the respective users. And for all the process, I have written some several combinations, okay? Part payment, amendments, cancellation, many things will be there. Within the use case, there could be multiple scenarios will be there. Everything has to be done. This exhaustive exercise has to 100% avoid any surprise when you are going live. So we have to tell the users and HOD, the entire team, boss, what are you now working? That is what is going to be available when you go live. At the time of go live, don't come and tell us a surprise saying that, sir, I have a new requirement. Nothing new can come. Everything you need to test it now at this point, right? And then this stage is about go live and parallel run. So start with the opening entries like all the POs, SOs, and contract orders, whatever is there, bring the opening entries, and then start the transaction from a cutoff date to current date. So when I'm talking about the cutoff date, I would like to share a very industry-related scenario. Some of the companies will finalize ERP order in the month of May or June. And by the time all these things are completed, it will be the month of July, August kind of I think 2-3 months it will take. And the month of August, they decide I will put the opening balance from April. I will ask users to enter data from there. I'm telling you, this is 100%. This will be a failure project. Okay, believe me, 100% it will fail. Okay. The only thing what ERP can do, if somebody is very much interested in taking the data from April 1st, start your project in the December. So by December, January, February, everything is completed. So all this, whatever work we have told at this point is all finished by 15th of March. So you are only waiting for the opening balance to come in the month of April. If that is possible, you can do. But never do a mistake of September opening balance from April. People all will be in a mess. And this ERP will take another 2 years for it to go live. And people lose patience and the project will die, right? If you are not planned for that, you only start from that particular month. Let's say the August is a month that everything is completed. Wait for the month of September. Maximum go live period can be 1 week. Why I am saying that 1 week? Generally, when the month is closed, the inventory and the opening balance to arrive, people may take about 3 to 4 days or sometimes 5 days, no problem. Okay. The 5 days data has to be ported to the system, and then you take, let us say, the month of August 1st, you say you already identified as a go live, and then rest of all the works, the previous slides are fully completed, and take the opening balance and port it by 5th, and then 5th tell the people system is ready, and by the time let them complete the open SOs, open POs, all that, and by 7th they will start entering data from 1st of August. So maximum you've got a 7 days of entry to do. So if you don't follow this process, it will be a sure shot of failure for the ERP system. Never make historic data for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It doesn't work. More than 7 days, it doesn't work. So data verification has to start with the present system and the ERP system. Validation has to be confirmed by every department. Let's say August, you have taken the ERP system live. Tell people by end of August, ask them to validate data. Maximum by end of September. Some of the functions, you can close it within 1 or 2 months data itself, right? And some of the functions need the quarterly data to be completed, like financial reports, all that. A minimum quarterly results has to be completed. By that quarter, you have to stop that system. Because the parallel run also runs for a long time. You have to enter in Tally, you have to enter in accounting package, also in ERP for next 1 year. That also put a lot of pressure on the people, maximum 3 months. And then the legacy system is being stopped. So by the time all the statutory report data validation is all fully completed, plan for stopping the legacy system so that the user will get relief from entering data in both the systems, right? This is what is important in the go live and parallel run. And this is something very important. Now let us assume the system starts working fine. Everybody is used to it. Everybody is entering data. Okay. This is where the management information system, MIS and decision support system has to start. So you start, this is where the company wants, you can use the ERP outputs. Sometimes ERP outputs are not fully ready. Don't bother. Go for a good BI tool. And then you can start preparing all your dashboards, other things based on the ERP data available through a BI system. And this is where you can start creating many reports like ABC analysis, customer payment follow-ups, delayed payment, production excess consumption, rejection, on-time delivery, hit and miss. Okay, why there has been a reason. All these things you can talk, you can fix, KRAs, KPIs for individual business function. And this is very important. You also have to conduct audit on the data accuracy, right? So this has to be an ongoing process, right? So this is something, this is where the organization will get ROI from ERP only through this process. Now, the master data management system is something which is a post-implementation of ERP. There are a lot of masters which need to be added. There are new items are coming, new bill of materials are created, new supplier customers are getting added in the system. When we are doing all these things, we have to make sure that there are no duplicates. Data, this will pile up actually, when it gets piled up, the system will go out of use, right? Because system doesn't give any data with the integrity. Many of the ERP systems are gone for re-implementation due to duplicate data. Duplicate will affect, will have the thing and showing in the wrong results and wrong pointers for us. This is very important. So we need to have a well-developed system. And then ongoing support and enhancements are really important, right? So, the vendor should constantly keep giving new features, new support, and retraining the new joinees. Okay, you have to create your own training process and keep training the new people. So the people who are joining new, they should not commit any mistakes in the system. And the training orientation of new features are also very important. And last but not the least, all the government change laws and all that has to be implemented on a regular basis. Make sure the system is live all the time. And that's all I've got to present. And if there is any questions, I'll be more happy to take.
Thanks, Vijay. Nice session.
Thanks, Gopi. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll just keep the floor open for question and answers.
Yeah, sure.
Participants, you may please unmute and ask your questions, please.
You are based out of Chennai, sir?
I'm based out of, I'm currently presently in Chennai, but of course, now I have come to Kakinada for some work. There's a big advantage of working in remote. So,
but you're based out of Chennai.
Our base is there in Hyderabad, but now our company is a 100% remote company now. So we don't have an office. So all of us, we operate on Zoom. Okay. So our implementation service, everything happens online. So that way it becomes a lot more easier for us. So at this point of time, presently I'm based out of Chennai for next one or 2 months or so.
Gopi, can I go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Okay. See, my existing company, what I'm doing has a ERP system.
Okay.
But actually, I myself, though I am the managing partner, I don't use it. In fact, I hardly find any use for it. somehow billing is done and those kind of things, accounts people are taking care. But more often I find a lot of confrontations there between department actually. When this actually causes, I mean, if I please correct me if I'm wrong, I find actually in a small industry where you employ 50, 60, we are not able to formulate any rules whatsoever. I mean, we call these rules only to be broken the next week. Because maybe one reason is the owner himself is sitting there. So let's say there is they say, okay, you will get somebody a request for an advance, and then you have a rule, okay, only after 2 years of service, maximum of 2 months salary will be given.
Correct.
So I cannot do without this guy. If he quits, I am gone. If a company is closed, so I will say, okay, make it okay, give 1 year's salary as advance. Okay, now I am breaking the rule. Now what will the poor ERP do? I mean, all those rules then again. So it's like ad hoc decisions have to be taken in small industry. I don't know about big industry because I've never worked. I don't own also. What is your comment? I mean, this is how ERP based. I don't know how much. And lot of other issues also. It is not accepting. They will say, suppose I want to build a new product or make a new product. No. Our that format doesn't accept. They'll say all kind of these stories. And it's frustrating. I tell, put it as a Word document and send. That's good enough. Or Excel. I will type it myself and send. Because again, somebody has to correct the master. Then, or you buy something, go and buy something bearing. No. That name of the vendor is not in the master. They will start. It is actually much more frustrating. This is I get really annoyed. I said, in Tamil, I say, ennamo senju tholenga. That's how I end up. Or I will take petty cash, or I put my money, because as a partner, nobody can question. So I will do that purchase, which actually frustrates the other side. You have not raised intent, because there's a procedure for raising an intent and 3 competitive quotations. And finally, you see, functionally, and ERP doesn't help. The real problem in SSI, MSME phases is we don't get manpower. Today we don't have man. We have got like 40 people from Uttar Pradesh, and they are calling the shots. Actually, sometimes they are the managing partners. We are not the thing. I'm just facilitating for them to come and work. There's no manpower. There's no manpower available for small industries. I think another 20 years it'll all get dried up unless you ready to put your children to operate the lathe and operate the crane. I don't know where you will get manpower for work. Just sharing these thoughts. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I think this is a valid issue that we get in most of the industries. See, what probably we need to do when you said about that, we are using a discretion and we are paying more, less, whatever you are deciding. The system actually should have a facility to pay whatever you want, right? It should not restrict you that only this much can be paid, this cannot be paid, right? So you can actually modify the system based on your actual method of working. That's a rule number 1, right? So advance payment for a employee, it will be the pure discretion of the management or the top team. You tell them to pay, and then only thing, the system should have a track. If the system says, I don't know how much I paid, I don't know how much I required, what balance to be required, then that's a flaw of ERP. So if you want to pay 6 months, you pay 6 months, 1 year, you pay 1 year, but it has to happen through the system. That is point number 1. And the system restricting that you can pay only 3 months advance, 6 months advance, that rule you can actually change it. That's not required. Point number 1. Point number 2, when you told about a new product coming to the company, this is actually a big farce. Okay. A new product has come, new supplier has come, supplier master is not created. So somebody has spoken to the new supplier, and he has already fixed up, he is going to supply the material. They have already given an order. Item has come to the gate. That time they find, to make the GRN, the supplier is not there in the system. Do you think that this is a 100% people failure? Why should somebody talk to a new supplier without a supplier master? That's my simple question, right? And how can suddenly a new item can come for a company? You mean to say suddenly they got up and a new item suddenly has come? Okay, like suddenly a mouse has come. Oh, it cannot happen. Somebody had found the item.
I am the villain. I am the villain. I will say, over phone. And because I am the managing partner, I am the villain of the piece.
Oh my
Because I
God.
need it in a hurry. I need that particular bearing to try out or
Correct.
something. Night 6 o'clock, I'll get that idea. I will get it. I will call him in Paris corner and say,
Excellent.
I am the villain.
So then what you have to do, I'll tell you, you have to create a WhatsApp group saying that this is a new product, please include in the item master. See, even if the item is coming from Paris corner to, to your factory, it may take about 2.5, 3 hours. So within 3 hours, see, to create a supplier master, it takes only 1 minute. To create item master, it takes only 1 minute. Okay. All I would ask, did you not have that 1 minute time to do that? Right. So even though you are actually bypassing the system, within the time frame, we have to make sure that we do. We book a Tatkal ticket. Okay. Tatkal ticket for us to book, you got only 3 minutes time. How many of us are doing it based in that, right? So all I am saying is when the Tatkal ticket can be booked in 3 minutes, why can't you create a supplier master and customer master? There you are giving the people, name of the traveler, age, their preference of birth, payment, everything you are doing it to get the ticket in 2.5 minutes. Why the supplier master, item master cannot be created? So all you have to do is, I'm not asking you to do, you should have a WhatsApp group and tell them, hey, this is a new item I've included. This is going to come by morning 6 o'clock. I want somebody to create from home and confirm to me right now. Have a WhatsApp group and tell the people to do it. That's
all the more reason your suggestion that it need not be at site. I mean, it can be online. You said the entire
online. Obviously, system has to be accessible online. That's all. So even something has to come.
Cloud is better, no? Than that
on
way.
Cloud. That's what I am saying. Don't restrict. Now the world has become very, very huge, right? So nowadays, on the pretext of, safety and security, you can't have a server defined to your factory with the LAN network. That's a disastrous actually. Okay. So move to the cloud. Server has to be available for everybody 24/7. So people don't have a reason for not. But you have to implement certain security parameters. People can't download the, report to the local system. All that, there are methods to do it. So you have to protect it. All I am saying is today, see, between the data vulnerability and continuity of business or agility of business, I think agility of business is very important, right? When today cars are running at 130, 140 kilometer speed, you are able to achieve time. But somebody says, in that speed accident happens, what will happen? So you want to go on a bullock cart, right? That's not possible. Okay. Now the vehicles are designed. Yeah, something happens, we are gone. But all I am saying is we are able to achieve the efficiency as long as we are alive. Okay, we are not asking about when we are dead. When you are dead, the problem gets solved, right? When you are alive, what is the speed at which you are going is a predominant question here.
Okay. Can you put that last slide again, your contact details? I mean,
sure. Thank you so much, and everybody can note this.
This is my. See. Where is it, Gopi? Where is it coming?
1 minute. I'll do one thing. Let me copy and put it in the chat right away. Gopi, I can put it in the chat.
Yeah, please.
Super. With your permission. And then I've given two numbers. I am giving a personal number also here.
Sir, I'm coming back.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Kannapiran.
Kannapiran. I'm here.
Kannapiran, solunga.
This really, you have touched upon all the directions of the ERP. Really, and I think Mr. Vishwanath, has also raised a question. You have touched it. You have very nicely said, I'm just reusing it or reiterating it if there is anything, and I will ask my query.
Sure.
The problem where it starts, what Vishwanath has asked a query. Normally, the CEO come at the beginning of the ERP and he will put the rules. It is for Vishwanath. He will put the rule. I wanted an employee to be 2 years, then only anybody can do it. So they put all the rules without knowing that they themselves are going to break it.
Correct.
And without knowing that there is always going to be a room for, deviations. They don't tell at the time of, I have seen myself at the time of ERP. No, I wanted all the rules. Nobody in the company should bypass this. Your ERP system should not allow to bypass it. Life, we are not going to bypass anything. Even our own heart, we are doing a bypass surgery.
True.
I'll always say that was the biggest mistake. If you tell the ERP people, it is easy to tell them, this is my rule. Okay, when you have to deviate it, we are doing in a corporates. Okay, because we cannot be reading it.
Correct.
You know, the rule can be bypassed. Level 1 of bypass is to these people, they are authorized. Level 2, these are all the people to authorize, and then we do it. It is not that I am also receiving today, even after all these things, if you say it, sir, there is 100 parts in a machine. During the master data creation, the engineering fellow will create only about 20, 25. He does not even know that, there is one O-rings is there. And that O-ring is a special, Teflon coated O-ring or something is there that has to be procured. So it happens that way, new items being generated. So it's more of CEO should never have any rules set for this. You people have to work. The only thing is at the closing or at the regular interval, he need to see what kind of an report he wanted. That he misses.
Correct.
All the management team, I'm not only saying CEO, if there is a head of the department, he should concentrate what is my outcome out of this. I am preparing a daily report. I am preparing a weekly report. I am preparing a stock report. I am inventory analysis or anything which is there. I am, product costing I am doing. Or, those things as a head of the department and the CEO should find out what kind of a report we should look for it. That's what they should concentrate. And we set a rule, and then mostly in the world, whoever set the rule will break it.
Break it. Absolutely.
Okay. And nicely, you have taken up the entire session. Okay. Very, very. We have also traveled in the same. I fully agree with you. Okay. Right-minded people. Yes, we have seen there are people who delay it, dally it. Only my question to you is, which function? Because we have to choose program manager from our existing fellow only. Right? One of the fellow, we have to nominate it, or do we require to recruit a new fellow? If it is to be from our domain, which domain is better? Can I look at it, a material management fellow or a finance fellow, or what kind of a thing?
Kanagaran, is it from the point of view of project manager, is it?
Yes, project manager.
Okay. In fact, you asked a very beautiful question. I would like to answer, You see, project manager should have a zero knowledge on ERP. I think many of you will get zapped actually, right? You should have a zero knowledge on ERP. If any of the project manager of ERP has got knowledge on ERP, they will mess it up actually. Okay. I will tell you when you need an ERP expert, when you don't need an ERP expert. Okay. Both are equally important, right? Because we have a personal experience on this, Kanabiran, one of a large implementation of a German company shifting from SAP. We are struggling for 5 months with one project manager who's a ERP expert working from Germany. Very, very good guy, super guy. Okay. The problem was any ERP expert will continue to give requirements. Okay. They cannot stop. Okay. Yes. So this is like, when you are in a Carnatic music, show, it is better that you are not a Carnatic, you should be a Carnatic novice so that you can enjoy the music. Otherwise, what will happen? No, this Briga is not okay. This Raga is not okay. In that, the Shruti has gone. I think, when you want to enjoy the music, just enjoy it, right? So all I am saying is your knowledge of Carnatic itself will be an impediment to enjoy the Carnatic music. Okay. So I will come to the point. So we got a project manager. When the project did not go live, we got a project manager from Deloitte. This guy name is Satya. Okay. This guy doesn't know anything about ERP. He just doesn't know anything about anything. Right. So he has got only Excel sheets. Now you will ask only one question. Arey boss, is the product validated by the user? Is the requirements are fully completed? Have you given all requirements? Is there anything pending? If there is anything pending, he will say, I'll come day after tomorrow. You complete all this, then I will come and start my work. His work starts when you say, system is ready. Now it is ready for implementation. No more requirements. So now he will open an Excel sheet. He will say, who should do what and by when, period. That is all the Excel sheets he has got. And he will start chasing people like a mad dog. If you don't do it, you can't go home. That's all. He will say, you are committed today, better stay today and finish and go. You don't have to go. You don't even have to go for restroom also, because you said today. If you finish it one day before, so he will start doing it for one guy. Rest of the guys will become agile. He will say that if it's not possible today, you tell day after tomorrow. I have nothing to do. And he will also tell, it is not that I'm asking you not to go to the restroom. I will also not go to the restroom along with you, right? That's a project manager. He doesn't know about accounts payable, receivable, bill of material, nothing, right? He will only know who should do what by when. That's it. That one Excel sheet he has got, he will start following up things, right? So you need an ERP expert to design a system. It is something like, you design a car, you want very intelligent people. To manufacture a car, you need only a robot, correct? So that differentiation we need to have, right? So bring a guy who's not from and always bring a project manager for 3 months from my external guy. Don't put any internal people, they'll get biased.
Agreed. I'm fully, because when we are implementing it, most of the time the project manager takes the direction of the ERP and then the destination is decided by them. Because the project manager is decided by the management team, we all, and then get into it. Okay, I agree with you. And one more light on it. What could be the initial cost, operating cost of a small, medium, and high system? Number, indicative number for the team to understand it.
Okay, this is about the cost of ERP.
Yeah, cost of ERP of the initial cost and the running cost. Indicatively, model A, model B, model C, kind of just a ballpark number. There's nothing commercially.
Absolutely. Steve, now I can talk about generally in cloud, how generally people are charging. I also can talk about our cost, right? So our cost for a manufacturing industry, let's say about number of users, I can take it about 5 to 10, Kanabiran.
Yeah, as low as 5 to 10, as high as maybe about 100. The two different models we can just.
100 users, is it? Or 100 employees?
100 users would be there.
Users. Okay. 100 users will be a very large implementation. Okay. Because
that's what I'm just telling you. Two different model. I'm just trying to understand the width of the cost implication.
Okay. So when you're going for about 10 users, your monthly running cost will be around 30 to 35,000 rupees. It comes to about some 3,500 per user per month. Okay. When you are talking about 100 users, this won't be, proportionally, it is supposed to be some 3.5 lakhs, but it would be around 2.5 lakhs for you. Okay, there could be some discounts when you're talking about anything more than about 50 users. There could be some discounts, right?
Agree.
So that will be the figure. So 10 users, 35,000 will be the running cost, and one-time implementation may vary anywhere from about 3 lakhs to 7 lakhs, depending on number of use cases you take. That's a one-time cost.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You have just filled the gaps and doubts in me in completely in your this thing. Okay.
Thank you.
I now trust more about ERP. I also had doubts. Okay. With the people of implementing and this thing. Yeah, there are right-minded and right knowledge people understanding our side of it also and implementing it. Thank you very much. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, Sitaraman.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. This is Shivaraman here.
Shivaraman, yeah. Morning.
Go on. Yeah. Good morning, Gopi, sir. Sir, I have a question on. We are not using a full-fledged ERP. We are using Zoho basically.
Okay.
A part of Zoho Books has been used. The question which I do have is, you are saying like go for indigenous make where it will be served with customization. So Zoho does that. Like when the Zoho Books gets upgraded, they upgrade all the GST norms and anything related to that. So I feel that it was more user friendly to me. Being an engineer and using an account is always a challenge.
Debitor credit is always confusing.
Debitor creditor is always a challenge. Zoho did a good thing. They used something called as invoicing and billing, and made the life of an engineer easy. So we are using almost 4 years. all our GST is done automatically. We just do the push-pull concept to Zoho Books, and also e-way bill is done automatically. So it really helps us. So my question is like, I'm still trying to check whether I can go with Zoho One, which is a complete ERP package they are giving, user-based, or whether I need to go with company who is giving a specific ERP solutions, which will be better for me. This is my question to you.
Okay. See, to be very precise, I am talking about 5 years back. I had a personal conversation with Sridhar Vembu Zoho. I had an opportunity to do that. He was not all that big at that time. Now he has become so big. One of the Indian products achieving the great heights. We are all proud of what Sridhar Vembu has done. Okay. But Shiraman, just help me to understand your business. Are you into manufacturing? What kind of a product?
No, we are not into manufacturing. We are into servicing industry. We are a system integrator doing fire protection services. So we buy various materials from OEM and then supply to our customers.
Okay. So for your business, it works perfectly fine. Okay. You can go for Zoho as long as it is only inventory management and, some very small bill of material and the finished product selling kind of a thing, project kind of stuff. Zoho actually works wonderful for you, no doubt. Okay. But for all the benefit of people who are here, listening to the conversation, if you are in manufacturing, straight answer is Zoho doesn't work for you. Okay. The reason is, when you talk about a manufacturing, there are a lot of complexity of a supply chain and manufacturing comes into place, which Zoho will not be able to meet the requirement. I have found, there is one company in Coimbatore at that point of time, we have pitched our product. And because Zoho was a good brand, they have decided and gone, but the product did not go live, right? So if you have just got inventory and selling part of it with a very minimum product SKU bill of material we talk, right? So which means when you take some 7 or 8 items individually, make it as one package and you are going to sell it for the customer. To that extent, Zoho works. For your business, it works perfectly fine. For a typical manufacturing company, Zoho may not be able to work. I think you can go for Zoho One and rest of the functions also you can connect it actually. You can extend it. Right now you are using only Zoho Books, which means only financial accounting, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you can also take the inventory part of it and one BOM you can create in the project management. It actually works very well for you.
Right, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Welcome.
Thanks. Thanks.
Now, participants, you may please unmute and ask your questions, please. Sairam. Nabin.
Hi, good morning. This is Arvind from Accurex.
Hi, Arvind.
Basically, I have one fundamental question. Our company is basically into services of capital equipments. Means we buy machineries we import the machineries and then we support it to the local customers and we take care of the installations and after sales services of those equipments. So in our business model, we do have different verticals, right from the sales aspect, service aspect. So with respect to the sales aspects, we see we have almost 20 to 30 different equipment manufacturers. So those OEMs have their own structure of asking us their reporting things. And at the same time, with respect to our local customers, we need to have our own structure of interacting and follow up to get the business deals. Similarly, in terms of the services, the OEMs have their own bill of materials. They have so many part lists. They have so many. It's more than 1 million parts. And we have a service team. We have product managers for each and every equipment. The other side of the coin, we see customers where we also need to interact, keep track of the customer satisfaction, keep track of the predictive maintenance of the machines, preventive maintenance of the machines. So this is a diversified areas of different verticals which we see, where we did try to see what sort of a system can help us in filling up all these gaps and trying to give us a single solution, because we have been trying to get into a structured way of doing things past I would say more than 7 years, but it's very hard to find a right tool to ensure that every system works fine. We still use the same Excel sheets. We do the follow based only on the Excel sheets, because we weren't able to see any I mean, we did try one of the local ERP in Bangalore. We did pay for them. It was hardly 3 months. Then our people were not felt it's not user friendly to keep it. They started thinking that it is just duplication of a data entry, which they are not able to get the feel of it. So it got stopped. So after that, we did not really head into having a CRM system. So with the business industry, what we are into, where it is multiple OEMs, multiple customers, it's so much of diversification. So we are not able to see which one would help us to give a right solution. If you can just guide me in that lines, it will be fine.
Certainly, Arvind. Certainly. Arvind, most importantly, what you probably need to do is, see, you have to identify your business. See, first of all, for your business model, there will not be any ready-made ERP available at all. Because the reason any product gets developed, Arvind, only based on the volume of consumption, right? Because there are a lot of trading activities are there. There are a lot of manufacturing activities are there. But people like you who are doing this activity, number of people are less. So there may not be any ready-made systems available, right? So having said that, the first and foremost thing, see, what is when you're looking for a ERP as a scope, you got to identify what is the most critical activity your company is doing, and where you have a ready-made system that is going to meet the requirement. You know that 80-20 rule, right? So the 80% of the problems are coming from only 20 scenarios, right? So the 20 scenarios you have to identify. So for me, I'm just assuming for you, you need a good plant maintenance module, PM module, plant maintenance module, not an entire ERP system. Maybe you have some procurement, all that it has to take care, but the plant maintenance part has to be very important. So which means which machine is there with which customer, and what are the frequent parts to be replaced, what is the preventive maintenance being done, what is the breakdown maintenance being done, what is the spare parts consumption, how much of spare parts the customer has got, how much of spare parts you are supposed to keep it on reserve so that you will be able to deliver the requirement. So you got to pick and identify these kind of use cases as a critical scenario for my business. Otherwise, what happens? Everybody will start with accounts. The maintenance module is very important. That's a starting point for you, right?
Okay.
Demonstrate this first, because this is my first business requirement. Okay. So if you say you must have seen products like that ORM maintenance, right? Equipment maintenance related ERPs are there, right?
No, we haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen yet.
You have seen it? Okay. So you can start with the maintenance module. See what you could do. You can first identify that this is your business requirement. Okay. What is the most critical business requirement within your company? Only with your Excel sheet. So what is the most critical Excel sheets? Let us say within your company, they are maintaining about some 10. Of course, accounting part, you may have some accounting software, right?
Yeah, we have the Tally for the accounting. Separate.
Tally. Okay. So anyway, the final accounting is been done. So only take the operational area. Operational area, list down what all the requirements you are doing, and then you have to scout around for a ERP system. Okay. So I'm not promising, but if you can talk to us for a requirement, either we will show our product or I will at least guide you to the right system that will be able to meet your requirements, or at least you can take some demos. But I'm sure that, for you, identifying a system, ready-made will be difficult. You have to at least go for multiple system. For CRM, separate system. And then for your business process, one separate system. And that same system can meet your accounting requirements also, right? At least you have to go for two systems at least separately.
Sure. Thanks for your guidance. I'll be in touch with you. We'll have a
sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. Morning, sir. Nabin from Swan.
Hello, Nabin.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I'm into refinery division. Like I am manager of the refinery division. So actually, get multiple projects like every year 10, 15, and each project has a different BOM.
Okay.
So it's like becomes very difficult for us to create BOM for each project. Like each project will have 100, 200, 300, 400 parts, and
Correct.
each part will have, suppose some parts will have only sharing, some parts will have welding, some parts will have bending only. So when we like we are trying to shift this BOM thing into ERP, but like still we have not got answer for this. So do you have any solution?
Yeah, with what you are now talking, so anyway you are making a project wise BOM only you are doing.
Yeah. We are doing the thing in Excel sheet now. Currently we are
Excel
doing
sheet.
through Excel. Yeah.
Very good. And the common items will have a common code.
Yeah.
Correct. So if there's the same part coming in different project also, you will have
No. There is nothing called same part.
Okay.
There is nothing called same part, because I'll tell you one thing. Like we supply column internals to petrol refineries, CPCL, IOCL, example. So each column different. There is nothing called similarity.
Not even one product will be common, huh?
No, size will vary, thickness will vary. No, might be the bolts bolts and walls may be same. Very little quantity will be same.
Okay.
Let us take 10% will be same.
Correct. So the only thing is you would like to know that all that individual process, from the raw material to the finished product, there are about 5 or 6 processes. You want to keep track of that.
Yeah.
And you also send it outside to get it done. Somehow that you do it internally.
Yeah. All these things happens.
Okay, all the combinations are there. Okay.
Yeah.
Naveen, I think you can take one demo of our system. I think then you can also do the suitability of our system for your requirement, because here we might. I think if I'm not promising 100%, at least 95% you can get a suitability of ours actually. Because this is more like manufacturing only. The only thing is every project is unique. It is not a standard product, but otherwise rest of all that you will have the same manufacturing stuff what you have.
Yeah. Okay. So you are telling to take a demo of your project.
Demo of ours. Yeah. Demo of our system. I think we'll be able to suit your requirement.
Okay. Then I'll be in touch after this meeting with you.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Sir, Sairam, sir, from France.
Yes, Sairam.
Sir, actually, what Mr. Naveen asked, there's one more issue also, exactly in routing process. So when the part numbers changes, some part will be having same process. So example, if a part number A will be having 3 operation, in another project, the name will not be A. It will be like a Z or S. But the operation sequence will be same. So every time what we have to do, we have to make the routing again and again along with the BOM. So BOM making for us, it will be not a big deal for us, because we will use always doing Excel. But the routing for every component along with the BOM, which makes us tougher. So is there any possibility to make a universal routing for a component type? So if we decide the type, the routing should be same, only spec we have to change.
Spec, what do you mean?
Spec in the sense length, thickness. Say example, one component is having shearing, bending, and stepping. Example.
Correct.
So one first project will be having 80 mm, 50 mm, 100 mm. Another one will be having same operation, but the sizes will be different. But the routing is same.
Okay. So the input raw material might be different, but the routing will be the same to get your final product.
Yes, part number will be different, spec will be different, but operation sequence will be same for so many parts. But spec will not be same. That's the main base issue for us. And Naveen, you tell me.
Actually, he's trying to say the size will vary, but the steps, the cutting of the sheet metal will remain the same, almost same.
Okay.
But the size of the component always varies, because it's for different columns.
Got it. So probably this one we can see how to map the requirement. Right now we also have a BOM. We also have a process sequence which is to be given separately, and we have to we can see how we can achieve. Sivaraman, thank you.
Sir, yes, sir. I'm having one more doubt. Actually, we are into 2 divisions. One is automotive and one is refinery. So right now, both in the same plant. So we both are in the same plant, and we are getting very tougher in parallel entry and live also, because the interest of people shows, because here from conventional matter, people are started working here. So for us to keep them motivating to get live and to show them benefits, what to do, how to do, what will the benefit if the ERP is perfect, like that, we are just keeping them pushing. But we have 2 departments, right? So in few days, in few months, we are planning to get two different factories. So one will be for automotive, one will be for refinery, and the store will be two different stores. On the entire staff unit will be almost different areas where I and a few more persons will be involved in both the factories. Like example, I am the quality department, so I will be head of both the factories quality. Like that, procurement will be there. They will be both sides. So few will be in both sides. So what is my doubt is, so do we need to get two ERPs or a single ERP to maintain double stores and double production and double work centers like that? What will that make confuse? Yeah, two different divisions, two different factories.
Two different divisions. Okay, you have to create two different divisions. Then only you get the profitability, order, everything. Your masters are common, or it may not be common, but there are some common teams working on both because you need a single balance sheet, right?
Yes, correct. Single, currently, correct. Single, yes. You both because both company working under same company name. Now company name will not going to change. So single balance sheet is required, but we need to precise data that what is automotive earn, what is the refinery earn. So we need that data.
Absolutely. So you can create two different divisions. We also have a provision probably when we have a demo, that point also we can discuss. So you can create division A, division B, so that you get a profitability, other transactions, inventory, everything separate. And you can have common users who are individual user, they get only that division data alone. Common users can see both the data together.
Okay, because we have just saw so many demos and so many companies. So finally it was a SAP and one more software called GoodBooks. So they are just creating the software actually. So they are not marketing persons. So they are creating software. So then we made a decision that the creators can do more better than SAP. So because we are a refinery company, if it is automobile, that will be universal. So we are refinery industry, which is completely niche, very niche skills, very niche softwares. We require something very unique. So we believe that creators can do what we require. So that's what we selected them. So we started doing it. So now it is currently going to parallel live. So we are on that phase actually. So is that our decision is something correct? So because we are looking for a creator, right?
Okay. But see, when you talk about a creator, tomorrow your accounting area, everything needs a standard system. Once again for you.
Correct. Yes. So they have to create, they have to standardize it. That's what we are looking for actually.
Okay.
So so you're telling to go for two domains, right? So two domains, different opening itself.
Correct. Two different divisions in the initial time.
Okay. Then that will be having more precision. But master will be same. Master will be same, but divisions will be having.
Your item, correct. Your item, supplier, company, entity, everything has to be common for both actually.
Okay. Only the stores account and the financial will be different, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Fine, sir. Then I will work on it, sir. So we'll have a view of your presentation also.
Sure.
So we'll contact you, sir. Post this meeting, we will contact you. We'll have a session for what is the software.
Sure, Sriram.
And thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. And it's a very interesting session which we go through. And we got a good motivation of your speech because we are just little slide down because of it's getting delay and parallel is not going on, live is not going on. Being an admin of this project, I am also like a project manager, so I'm just getting the slight depressed why it's not happening. I'm just fighting with everyone on the shop floor like mad. Why are not doing? Why are not doing?
That's the time people will pull the project down actually.
Yes, so many people because everyone is working for 20-30 years in this factory, so they're used to it on Excels. So the resistance is very high in this kind of industries. So that's what. So now it's very happy to meet you, sir. Now I can stay motivated for a few more months again.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Gopi, I have converted this into my sales pitch.
This idea. My mother, my wife, listens. I mean, frequently quotes from Dushyant Sridhar. He also is doing sales pitch only.
Okay.
We all do it. Good. Thank you. We'll be in touch. Okay. I'm slowly forming some ideas after your presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else has a question? So we'll let Vijay go then. Vijay is here on a vacation too at Kakinada. So we'll not hold Vijay for long.
No problem.
Gopi, I will also be taking leave, Gopi.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll conclude the session.
Thanks, Vijay. Thanks for
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Pleasure having you. We'll connect offline.
Sure, definitely. And there are some, somebody has put some contact details. If possible, you can just copy and send it to me before closing it.
Oh, sure.
Shall I take?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, please. You can.
One second. Let me just copy paste to my desktop.
Mr. Vijay, just before we close, actually the architect of this, he's very modest, Gopi, but he runs the whole thing. We all, as committee members, we all pretend that we are pitching in. Actually, we don't. He's a hero of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And surprisingly, this attracts whenever there is a presentation about agriculture. Surprisingly, we sometimes get 80, 90 people attending. I don't know what really attracts people to something like agriculture produce and things like that. It's a very funny thing.
Because profits are very high, Vishwanath. See, after this, like Jaggi Vasudev, Isha Yoga kind of people had come, the organic farming and all has come. People are, moving much towards that. There are a lot of.
It's just a hype. See, something like your presentation, everybody is. I had hope more people would but they're not people. Because, anyway, you said from Central Polytechnic, Mr. Raman, SV Raman, who was the principal.
Oh, which year he was there? I was in 81 to 83.
Around that time.
Raman,
all chemical. He was chemical.
Chemical technology was another campus. I was in the first campus actually.
But he was a principal for everything, I thought.
No, I think chemical technology had a different wing altogether actually.
Okay.
So here in our the first campus we had that civil, mechanical, electrical, and electronics. Only this four were there. The chemical institute itself was different actually.
Okay. Because somewhat we are contemporaries. I finished in 82.
Okay.
Pretty much.
But for me, the diploma itself was tough. The 10th standard, the 12th standard books, I was scared actually. I told my father, I'm not going to get through this. So he got me Polytechnic. I was so poor in education, Vishwanath. So when I thought Polytechnic, I thought I'm going to sell milk. Some Polytechnic, some Paul. So that was my wisdom those days actually.
Actually, most chemical technology people, we did some projects together, Mr. SV Raman and I. That's how I know him.
Okay.
In oil chemistry.
Oh, okay.
He was very good in mass transfer and all that. He was a very good teacher. So to say, I was just remembering him. I have to actually, a long time since I've connected with him.
Yeah, great.
Okay, Gopi.
Well, thank you. Gopinath, I took all that contacts.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Have a nice weekend, all of you. Bye.